Okay, so we are starting right now. Um, so this is the CorePhone launch event day 2. So yeah, welcome everybody. And yeah, so today is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be talking a lot about the new CorePhones, the CorePhone Regular Edition and the Master Edition as well. And then after we will be doing a Q&A. And I was originally going to be doing a premiere, but then I decided just to do a live stream so I could do the Q&A after. Anyways, let's get started. So, when was CorePhone made? CorePhone was actually created in July 2020, so really not that long ago. But the idea for making a phone actually started in 2019, and this actually happened with the creation of a company called Emerald. And actually, Emerald was originally started by me and Ben Slobodian, who actually is now the owner of Emerald now. And I'll talk about more about that later because we've been doing, or we're going to be doing, a collaboration with them on a phone that we are making together. Anyway, so we had a lot of ideas for making an Emerald phone, and we actually started off by getting lots of supplies, like such as displays, random development boards. But anyway, we actually started off by getting many supplies, and we were going to build the phones on our own. The first concept phone we made was on January 14th, 2020, and it looked like this. So, basically, as you could see, yeah, not that great. I mean, um, we were gonna actually get a breadboard and just a screen, and that screen would attach to an SoC, and then somehow that would work. I don't know how that would work. But the SoC was complete, like, bare bones. It was mostly for things like, developing maybe a small app or like some sort of, you could maybe put the SoC in some sort of maybe one of those mini drones or something like that. It was mostly for like a Wi-Fi development chip. So you know how like the in a Wi-Fi development chip that's used for mostly like those mini drones, and you can control it from your phone sometimes. So something like that, right? Oh shoot. Uh, so it was a complete mess, I would say, but it was a prototype, and we figured it out. We can't really make a phone with just two people, and out of just an SoC that is for Wi-Fi and a screen, and then you just put it together with a breadboard. You actually have to have like a whole entire team. And then, basically, the whole thing stopped with the coronavirus when it hit in March, and we almost completely forgot about the whole Emerald Phone project. So, I decided not to be a part of Emerald Phone anymore, or I decided to be not a part of Emerald Phone. We basically just took it apart. Basically, I mean, we weren't really doing anything with it. But then, actually, July 2020, I was looking in my drawer for some phones that I was about to list on eBay or Mercari at the time, because back then I was like reselling a ton of different phones and stuff like that, just from like Apple, HTC, Nokia, Motorola, phones like that, just old phones like um, iPhone 4s. Those were really, really popular back in 2010, but anyway, now they're not popular, but there was still like a reselling market kind of for it. But anyway, I saw my parts for the Emerald phone while I was looking for some other phones, and so I thought, well, maybe I could start that up again somehow. And so I was looking at different YouTube tutorials, and I couldn't really find anything like how to make a smartphone, how to make a phone, how to make, a phone all by yourself, something like that. And then after, I actually found this video called how to make a smartphone with an OE, like by OEMs or something like that. It was a really, really bad video. Um, it was like a really, really terrible video. It was all in like robotic voice, and it was a terrible video, but it got the idea down to me. It gave basic instructions, and that really started my company CorePhone. Now, what is an OEM? An OEM is original phone manufacturer. So, or original equipment manufacturers, but it's it's basically original phone manufacturers or original equipment manufacturers, something like that. So I called my new project that I was going to make like my own smartphone called CorePhone, and the reason why I actually called it CorePhone was to make the best possible smartphone with all the core features that you would need in a phone. So here we are. After tons of work with different OEMs to make the perfect smartphone, we made the CorePhone, or I made the CorePhone, and the CorePhone Master Edition, which I announced yesterday, and I did a short video showing the main information about the phone, which you guys most likely saw the premiere event. If you didn't, go back to day one. I posted it yesterday, or I did a premiere of it yesterday. So yeah. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about Emerald as an actual company now. So I was saying in the beginning, that Emerald actually, we did originally have this idea called Emerald, and then we kind of forgot about it. But then Ben Sablodian um, actually started up again, and we've been working together all the time trying to make a perfect smartphone basically together. Now, with this specific smartphone, the CorePhone Regular Edition and Master Edition, we did not partner up. But with the CorePhone E, which will be released in March, which I will be talking about, uh, yeah, that's our next smartphone that we're going to be making. But as of this September, actually, we decided that Emerald would become a sub-brand of CorePhone. So basically, sub-brand, they would be making their own phones, but we're still like partnered together, basically. And now, Emerald will be making their own smartphone in the future, but I don't have really any information or too much information when they're going to be releasing their own Emerald phone, like by themselves. But what I do know is that we are going to be making a smartphone together, which I said earlier, and we'll be releasing on March 6, 2021. So stay tuned in the next couple of months. But I will give you some hints at the end of the video. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the CorePhone Master Edition. So, why is the CorePhone Master Edition so good? Well, first of all, the CorePhone Master Edition's display is amazing. It's a 7.12-inch display, and it's 349 pixels per inch. So this is what it looks like, as you could see. But if you want to see it a little bit more detailed in a kind of an animated form or in a video form, then go to my CorePhone launch event day 1, which I once again posted yesterday. Just watch it after this live stream. So the CorePhone Master Edition's performance is actually really groundbreaking. It's really, really great. Comparing to all the smartphones in this price range, the Helio P25 is really, really powerful, and I'll show you all the main SoCs that lots of manufacturers use at this price point. So, we have the Helio P25, we have the Snapdragon 450, and we have the Unisoc SC9863A. And so, let's look at the Helio, actually, let's look at the least powerful one, the Unisoc SC9863A. Now, we were actually originally thinking of using this chip, but then we decided not to, just because it's not as powerful as the Snapdragon 450. And we were planning to use that, but we also decided not to do the Snapdragon 450. And even though lots and lots of manufacturers in this price range use the Snapdragon 450, doesn't mean it's the most powerful. The Helio P25 has the highest single-core multi-core out of all three of these. So the Snapdragon 450, as you could see, has a lower single-core and multi-core, and then even lower, I would say it's lower by about 30 to 40% in multi-core and single core is the Unisoc SC9863A. So it also has 4 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. This means multitasking is really, really great, and you also have a ton of storage to put whatever you'd like on it. Lots of applications, you can put lots of games, you can download tons of movies, download tons of music and stuff like that. And speaking of apps, the CorePhone Master Edition does come with Google Play Store and we do know that a couple of companies do not have the Google Play Store installed at this price point, so that is definitely an advantage. The CorePhone Master Edition does have Android 9.0, and it does run on our own Core UI. And yeah, how about the battery? Now, there is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in the CorePhone Master Edition, and it's great for gaming experiences with your friends online, and making your gaming experience last even longer than any phone at this price point. Um, many many phones at this price point actually have um, smaller batteries. Many have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, but this is definitely the most amount of milliamp hour battery. Um, let's talk about the cameras. So the CorePhone Master Edition has dual cameras, one being a 13 megapixel sensor, and secondary being a time of flight sensor. These cameras are great at this price point. Tomorrow we will be doing full-on camera samples, so stay tuned for that. What are some of its other features? There are so many other features such as USB-C, 3.5mm headphone jack, and much more. What is the price? So the price is actually $209. So a very, very, very good price point. And compared to its competitors, it's one of the most powerful SoCs, and it also has one of the most amounts of RAM and most amount of storage. Now let's talk about the CorePhone Regular Edition. CorePhone Regular Edition is the cheapest budget phone with 75 Hz refresh rate. So what is hertz, or a refresh rate? A refresh rate is how many times your front screen refreshes per second. So if you have a higher refresh rate, that means it feels smoother because your screen is refreshing more. So it just feels smoother when you're scrolling or maybe playing games. Many games like Dead Trigger 2, Bullet Force, and some others do actually support the frame rate. What is the resolution of the CorePhone Regular Edition? Resolution is an HD minus screen. An HD minus screen is 600p, making videos and playing games on the phone looking sharp and detailed. Now, how about the battery? The battery is actually one of the biggest strong points of the CorePhone Regular Edition. Now, since it is a cheaper price point, it's not as good as the CorePhone Master Edition. However, it is still very, very good. It's a 3,200 milliamp hour battery that can last up to 5+ hours of screen on time. Now, what is the performance? Now, though the CorePhone Regular Edition isn't meant for gaming or extremely intensive tasks, it doesn't mean it's bad at it. The CorePhone Regular Edition has the MediaTek MT6739, which is still very well optimized processor, and 3 gigabytes of RAM. It can do lots of multitasking. It also comes with 32 gigabytes of storage. Okay, so now it's Q&A time. So let's go to all of your questions, and I will answer them. And if there's no questions, then I will end this stream. So let me check on my phone if there is any questions. It seems like currently there are no questions. However, I will be waiting, and I actually will be saying some specific things like maybe I'll answer some of your questions in the comments below, but I will be answering some questions, just like some general questions that maybe you guys would have. So some of the questions that I bet you guys will have is, when is it available? It's actually available Black Friday, so make sure to check that out. Another question many of you might be asking, why are you doing this on your Tech Dude YT channel or not like a CorePhone channel? Well, actually, we do have a CorePhone channel, and we do it on there as well. Now, I actually post it later and make it more of a video instead of a live stream, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Another question that people might have is, basically, when is the CorePhone E coming out? Even though I did say the CorePhone E will be announced on March 6th, we don't actually have an official date that it's actually going to be released to the public so they could actually buy it. But it could very well be March 6th. So if there's no more questions, I will be ending the stream. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.